upgraded your leadership. And I am particularly happy that each and every one of you have been on the ignition today. There are more news coming, but let us do with the reflection now. One may ask, why a reflection day? Reflection is from training to transformation. Reflection is from training. Let me get to my screen. Reflection is for training to transformation. The reflection day is designed to integrate all the 4 trainings from identity shift to business shift, execution shift, and leadership into one unified operating system known as the Yes Ascend system. One may ask why we did an identity shift, a business shift, an execution shift, and a leadership shift. Now, this is actually what holds our business. This is actually what holds our business. Why? Because once you're able to find yourself, once you are able to find new meanings with how you operate in your business, once you're able to understand how to execute properly and also to become a leader who leads, not just a leader of authority or a leader based on rank, but a leader who leads, then you have completed the whole operating system of the Yes Ascend system. So why is Reflection Day important? I want you to understand that training gives you information. So most of you have been informed of what to do, but reflection gives integration. Through reflection, we'll be able to transform. So today we want to connect what was taught to what must be believed. We want to connect what was taught to what must be believed. One of my mentor, Mr. Randy, made mention that training informs or knowledge will enrich you. Someone type in the chat box, knowledge will enrich you. Knowledge will enrich you. But he continued saying that action will turn it into riches. Action will turn it into riches. So it is one thing to gain knowledge from all that we have thought, from understanding how the Yes Ascend system is all about, because that is going to be our operating system. That is going to be our operating system. So it is one thing to understand it from understanding who you are, from understanding why your business mindset must be upgraded, to why your execution life must be upgraded, to why you need a leadership shift and you need a leadership upgrading. But knowledge will only enrich you. Action will turn it into riches. So today, on the Reflection Day, we are going to integrate the knowledge we have acquired into action. We are going to integrate the knowledge we have acquired into action so that we can connect what has been taught and live it. How many of you are ready? So let's do an overview. We spoke about the shift overview. The shift overview is for you to understand what our system is all about. Our system talks about one movement. We will stop operating from a fragmented way of doing things into a structured way of doing things. All right? Stop operating from a personality driven to a system-driven thing. And that's what the system is all about. And we spoke about the four trainings, the four powerful trainings, which is the identity shift, the business shift, the execution shift, and the leadership shift. If you watch and understand all these four phases, this actually explains, it explains our operating system. And what is our operating system? The Yes Ascend system. So the overview and then the four trainings became our operating system, which is the Yes Ascend system. So let's go through it again for you to understand the overview of the Yes Ascend system. We said, first of all, you must put your power on. And by putting your power on, you need to activate yourself. All right. The second thing is to cultivate, to learn, to grow. The third thing is when you grow, you have to bear fruits. When you grow, you have to bear fruits. So what are you doing? You are duplicating. And then the last but not the least is not to only bear fruits, but also build more trees. Build more trees. So it is said that when a seed lieth on the ground or in the soil, it abideth alone. But when it is buried and it is watered, it brings forth new trees. It brings forth new trees. So it is expected of you to, first of all, set yourself on fire, which means you have to activate, to cultivate, learn how to grow. Learn how to grow, to duplicate, bear fruits, and then to elevate, build more trees, or bear more trees just like you. That is the purpose of the Yes Ascend system. And if we follow our trainings, we talk about identity shift. And the identity shift is all about activation. The identity shift is all about activation. What did the identity shift teach us? Who was I before this training? As a matter of fact, if you can't tell me who you were before this training, then it means you cannot measure your growth. Who was I before this training? The second thing is you need to understand is what identity must I release? What identity must I let go? The quality of a man is said to be his commitment to excellence. Therefore, I ask you today, what identity are you releasing? Are you letting go? Procrastination, inconsistency, fragmented way of doing things, name them. Who or what identity do you want to let go? Now, I want to give you some time. If you have a bio and if you have a jotter, a journal beside you, just put down 5 identity you need to release now. 5 identity you need to release now. And I am expecting each and every one of you to partake in this. Put it down. 5 identity I must release now. 5 identity I must let go. 5 identity I must let go. This reflection day is not just for you to learn or just for you to listen to my voice, but it is for you to make the shift. What identity must I release? What identity must I release? Ask yourself, what identity must I release? Put down 5 key things, major things you want to let go now. 5 identity about you. Maybe you are not conscious with time. You are not conscious about time. You do things based on your feelings. You are inconsistent. You do not follow a rhythm. You don't believe yourself enough. These are identity you must let go. So you have to put them down. The next thing you need to ask yourself is that what new identity must I now live daily? After writing the 5 identity you need to release or to let go, now put in 5 new identities you need to live daily. Put it down. The 5 new identity I need to live daily. The 5 new identity I must have now to live daily. Put them down. It is a reflection day. It is a reflection day. What you're doing is all the knowledge that you have gained, now you are putting them into actions to live it. Because knowledge will enrich you, but actions will turn it into riches. It is one thing to know and another thing to act upon what you know. So what are the new things? We talk about ownership. Yes Global is not just for Mr. Jonathan Abbey or Mr. Y.B. Liu. Yes Global also belongs to you because you are a brand partner. This is the time for you to take ownership. For your business to scale, you must take ownership. For your team to grow, it is not about Mr. Jonathan Abbey or Mr. Y.B. Liu. You must take ownership, because maturity is when you move from blame into execution, from where you shift from excuses into execution, because maturity comes with responsibility. What are the new identity you must upgrade to? Put them down. Put them down. Put them down. You are resetting yourself, and you are going to make a commitment to yourself. You're going to make a commitment to yourself that these are the new identity I choose to live with daily. Because you need to understand that if identity did not change, nothing else will last. You'll be super pumped about what we have thought so far. You'll be so motivated. But because the operating system, your internal operating system, your identity is not changing, then whatever you have received, all the messages I received from you that, this is one of the best teachings and you're going to change your business. If you don't change in action, nothing changes. If you don't change in action, nothing changes. And you must know that change is not instant. Change is gradual. So you must keep changing until it forms that new identity. Keep changing until it forms that new identity. I am super excited. I am happy. And I am grateful that the shifts have started. The shift is what is going to change our lives for good. But if you share this excitement and if you share this gratitude with me, then you must put it into action. If you care to know, today is Saturday and I'm still in the office. Why? Because there is an identity shift. I want to do things the right way. It can be you as well. So we activated our business. We made mention that The operating system is activate, cultivate, elevate, duplicate and elevate. So we activated our business through identity shift. Now we began to cultivate. Because we have activated, we began to cultivate on a business shift. On a business shift. So the question I would like to ask you this very afternoon or this very evening, depending from where you are watching from, do you now respect this as a system and not a hustle? Whatever the shift is all about, do you now respect it as a system and not a hustle? And if you respect it as a system and not a hustle, do you understand the value you are about to build? Do you understand the value you are about to build? You need to know this, that you cannot cultivate what you do not respect. If you think you are bigger than the system, then you can't stay in the system. You can't get plugged in the system. If you don't respect the system we are about building, then you can't be part of us. First of all, you need to respect the system. Each and everyone must respect the system, including Jonathan Abe, including Y-Bilio, because the system will outlive us. In decades to come, the system will outlive us. We need to respect the system, and then we need to understand the value. This becomes our business shift. This is what we are going to cultivate. So if you're listening to me, I want you to write that I respect the system. I respect that the Yes Ascend system is our operating system. Is our operating system. I want you to put it down. The Yes Ascend system is our operating system. The Yes Ascend system is our operating system. Now I want you to personalize it. The Yes Ascend system is my operating system. The Yes Ascend system is my operating system. The next thing I want you to put down is that I value what I am building with the Yes Ascend system. I value what I am building with the Yes Ascend system. Because you cannot cultivate what you do not respect. The next thing we want to talk about, and this interests me a lot, because this becomes the definition of discipline. That is going to be the execution shift. From cultivation into discipline. So the business shift talks about cultivation. The identity shift talks about activation. The business shift talks about cultivation. And then the execution shift talks about cultivation into discipline. So we don't just cultivate, we execute. All right? We don't just cultivate, we execute. And that becomes our discipline. Now I need to ask you some reflective questions. Under execution, do I now operate with rhythm instead of emotion? Put it down. Do I now operate with rhythm instead of emotions? Because with the shift, as we launch the shift, we are going to operate with rhythm and not emotions. We're going to operate with rhythm and not emotions. Not when we feel like doing something, but because we have a system, a structured system, we operate with it. Do I have a daily, the second question is, do I have a daily method of operation and a weekly structure? Understand that the Yes Ascend system is going to give you all these. A daily method of operation and a weekly structure. A daily method of operation and a weekly structure. Now, after writing this question down, I want you to put down the answers. Yes, the Yes Ascend system will aid me operate with rhythm instead of emotion. The Yes Ascend system aids me to operate with rhythm instead of emotions. The Yes Ascend system, the second one you need to put down is that the Yes Ascend system gives me my daily method of operations and weekly structure. The Yes Ascend system gives me my daily method of operations and weekly structure. After this, I want you to put down execution reveals what truly changed. Execution reveals what identity truly changed. If your execution did not change, then your identity did not change. So put it down. My execution determines what identity changed in me. My execution determines what identity changed in me. Then the fourth thing we built on is leadership. And leadership is all about elevation. Leadership is all about elevation. So know that you are not just bearing fruit, but now you are cross-pollinating, self-pollinating. You are building more trees. You started as you duplicated yourself in many. You taught them to use the system to duplicate more and more and more. Now, this is the true meaning of leadership. So I want you to ask a reflective question this evening. Am I building followers or leaders? Am I building followers or leaders? Understand this, that when you build followers, you only add to your team. But when you build leaders, you multiply yourself. I'll take it again. When you build followers, you only add to your team. But when you build leaders, you multiply your team. So I want you to put down an affirmation, write down and say that I am going to be a leader who leads. I am going to be a leader who leads. Because leadership is proven by what continues without you. Leadership is proven by what continues without you. The great leaders of all time are the leaders who left the scene and still the operating system keeps working for them. Are you going to be a leader who leads, or you are just going to be a leader who wants to be seen, popularity, or a leader who wants to be known without a good bench. Every leader has a good bench so that when they are not around, someone can take over. And the only way you can do that is by using the Yes Ascend system, which becomes our operating system. So in all, we covered 5 pillars. We covered 5 pillars from mindset, that is identity, all right, from mindset and identity, from business and value creation, from execution and accountability, leadership and duplication. These 4 things forms our culture and structure. It forms our culture and structure. So I want you to ask yourself this question. Which pillar is my strongest? Is it identity and mindset? Is it business and value creation? Is it execution and accountability? Do you have an accountability, a measurement tool, a reporting tool? Is it leadership and duplication? Is it a culture and structure? A culture and structure means that you are following the system. Write down, which pillar is my strongest? And then after you write down which pillar is my strongest, you ask yourself another question. Which pillar do I need to work on? Which of the pillars do I need to work on? Is it my mindset and identity? Is it my business and value creation? Is it my execution and accountability? Is it my leadership and duplication? Because all these 4 forms the culture and the structure of the Yes Ascend system, which is also known as the shift. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that the shift is now a lifestyle. The shift is not what you learn. The shift is how you live it. The shift is not the knowledge you've acquired. The shift is the life you are living. Because identity governs your behavior. Systems replace emotions, and execution replaces excuses, and leadership replaces popularity, visibility, and fame. I want you to put this down. This is powerful. I want you to put it down. The shift is now my lifestyle. My identity governs my behavior. The system replaces emotions. Execution replaces excuses. Leadership replaces popularity. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage each and every one of you. This is the time not to only acquire the knowledge. This is the time to live it. Because like Jeff Hardy will tell you, knowledge will enrich you, but action is what turns it into riches. And this is a powerful statement you can put down. Knowledge will enrich me, but actions will turn it into riches. Knowledge will enrich me, but actions will turn it into riches. Thank you very much. Tonight marks the end of the shift ignition. It is not just the end, but it is opening us to the shifts. it is opening us to the shift. And I want you to type in the chat box, I am ready for the shift. I am ready to leave the shift. I am ready for the shift. I am ready to leave the shift. Tonight, before we close, we have few announcements. First of all, because we want to identify leaders who would want to partake in the shift, we will be sending a commitment letter across board. We want you to fill the commitment letter. On Monday, we will send the commitment letter, both in English and in French. We want you to fill the commitment letter, and wherever you are, if you are in Nigeria, we will tell you who to send it to. If you're in Ghana, we'll tell you who to send it to. If you're in Cameroon, we'll tell you who to send it to. In South Africa, who to send it to. In Kenya, who to send it to. Because I want on my desk, I want to see all the leaders who are ready for the shift. The second thing we'll be sending you is going to be the momentum call out. The momentum call out will be our manifesto. So we have designed a manifesto. That manifesto will be read loudly on every execution call from the national call. Every execution call, the manifesto will be read out loudly. For leaders, whenever you start a training, you have to read out the manifesto. For team leaders, whenever you start a training, you read out the manifesto. For sponsors, wherever you start a training, you read out the manifesto. Because the shift is not, or change does not happen in a day. As faith cometh by hearing, and by hearing, and by hearing, so is the shift. You have to pronounce in the manifesto. Keep on reading the manifesto until your life reforms and becomes the shift. So on Monday, the commitment letter and the manifesto will be sent across board. Now, on Wednesday, we are going to have our global Zoom. Understand that the global Zoom wouldn't be on Friday, it will be on Wednesday. Now, I would want each and every one of you, I would want really to see that there is an identity shift. During global Zoom, we see the Eurasians populating the Zoom room than even Africans. But this Wednesday, let's, yes, global, see that there is an identity shift in Africa. I want each and every one of you, each and every one of your team to be present on the Zoom call this coming Wednesday. And do you know the reason why you have to be present on the Zoom call this coming Wednesday? Because something good is going to happen. Something good is going to happen. And it is going to happen for Africa. Because on Wednesday, we are going to announce our trip campaign for Africa. So get ready for the global Zoom.
Wow.
There is a reborn in Africa. There is a new wave that is shaking in Africa. You can be part of the shift or you'll be left out because something great and something good is about to happen. Then on Friday, we are going to host our continental Zoom. I made mention that every month there will be a continental Zoom. So this Friday, this coming Friday, Africa will hold its continental Zoom. We'll talk about the shift overview. And then the next thing will be the leadership alignment. All the country managers and the national execution leaders will be aligned for 1 week to be thought on how to onboard people and how to run the weekly rhythm and also the Yes Ascend system. I would like you to know, and I'm happy to announce to you that all our videos are ready. Once each and everyone gets logged on our Telegram channel, which will be given after the leadership alignment. So Wednesday will be Global Zoom, Friday will be Continental Zoom, the following Monday will be leadership alignment. And that's going to be a 1 week workshop, leadership alignment. And this is going to involve country managers and the National Execution Council leaders. They are going to be taught, and from there, they will now be executing on the national level. I am particularly happy and I am excited. I want you to know and understand that I am also seeing a lot of you happy about the shift. Most of you have posted about the shift. We are collecting the data and the rewards will come out soon. So thank you very much as we close the curtain for the shift ignition and open the door to the shift. And if you are ready, say the shift is here. The shift is here. I want you to unmute yourself and say
The shift is here.
The shift